I've talked to some people who have never even done Last Wish. I know even more people who have done the raid but have never done a serious legit Riven fight. I'm willing to bet that more than 95% of the people who will be watching this video have also never done legit Riven. Well, I'm here to fix that. This video is going to show you every encounter including legit Riven. We're going to go through everything. What I go through Last Wish in 7 minutes or less. You start outside of the Tower of the Dreaming City where you enter and Riven starts to ramble on about Aldrin and Mara and who gives a shit really. You want to enter the store once it opens and then you parkour your way to Kali, aka one of the ghost bitches. You'll have to stand on a plate with 3 different sections and literally just cleanse the plate 3 times and then kill the knight that spawns, all while trying not to die from ads, which if you do, how? Anyway, once everyone cleanses their plates and kills their knights, you all go back to the center where the DPS phase starts. Just use whatever you have to pump damage into her, but be careful because right underneath her there are a bunch of doors. Once she starts trying to wipe you, the doors will open, but only 6 of them. Just go to any random door that's open and you'll live to fight another day. This rotation will happen 3 times unless you kill her beforehand, but if you don't kill her after the first 3 cycles, first off, what? Second, you'll have to cleanse more plates, so just try to kill her before that happens. Anyway, that's the end of the encounter, let's move on. Alright, Shiro cheat. This one is easy. Once everyone is here, you can place a flag and stand in front of the door to start the encounter. Ghost Witch number 2 will be here and try to stop you from progressing. A bunch of ads will also be waiting for you when you step in, and it's just about killing waves. Then going up to the bitch and picking up her eggs. 3 people will have to pick them up and stand on a plate, shoot the person to their right for a bit and make her take her COVID vaccine, then beat the shit out of her like a piñata. This boss is health gated, so you'll only be able to do a certain amount of damage to her before doing this again. After the second time, there will be a room where you'll have to play Sudoku with your fellow guardians. All you're trying to do is fill in the space by standing on these plates that correspond to the symbol you're facing currently. Just be careful because if you jump off that plate, you can't stand on it again. Also, you take consistent damage from these, so unless there's a well where you're standing, don't stand on these for too long. Once you're done with this, you'll have to jump up to the next area where you'll repeat all of these steps another 2 times. Real easy encounter, not too difficult. Next for some parkour. Alright, enough of that. Next for the giant 5 gum. Everyone positions themselves. 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and 2 in the center. Don't worry, we'll get to this in a sec. One of the center people should pick up this taken strength. That's this thing to start the encounter. There's gonna be a total of 10 of these, so get ready to start moving, sort of. The 2 people on the left are gonna pick up theirs first. 1 person from the right is gonna pick up both taken strengths on that side. If you try to pick up more than 2 taken strengths, you just die, so don't even bother. They're just gonna get back to the arena anyway. A bit into the encounter, there's gonna be a knight that spawns the Eye of Riven. The other person from the right is gonna pick up the taken essence and use that to cleanse the guardian that gets caged. At this point, the person who cleanses now has the taken strength, and the other person on the right side picks up the other glowy boys on that side, while the people on the left pick up the remaining ones. Once you've cleansed twice and all the taken strengths have been picked up, you start DPS. Now you only get 1 shot at this, so just give it all you got. No pressure, just the threat of a wipe because you didn't do shit, Carl. It's honestly really not that hard even when you do it the first time around. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you were waiting for this part. I'm gonna do this as best as I can. You wanna know how to read Vault? Simple. Don't. No, I'm kidding, I'll teach you. You need 3 guardians to stand on these plates to start the encounter. You're gonna see these symbols. The person from stairs is gonna call out their middle symbol, which could be any one of these. Just call it out so that either person can see if it's on their left or their right. That same person is gonna call out their middle symbol, which the last person will say is on their left or right. Still with me? Alright, one of these rooms is gonna open and then the corresponding guardian is gonna go in and kill the Eye of Riven. You know, the thing from the last encounter. Taken Essence is gonna drop again and they're gonna pick it up, but there's a buff. Taken Essence, Penumbra, and Antumbra. This is your hint as to how to complete the encounter. When I told you to call out your symbols, I told you to remember your lefts and rights. Penumbra is left, Antumbra is right. If I was at tree and I said 69 fish was on my right, then I'm taking the Antumbra buff to tree. If it was on my left, then I'm taking Penumbra to tree. Of course, you'll have to adapt on the fly because it's not always going to be like this. There's a chance you'll have to slam at someone else's plate, but I'm sure you can figure it out as long as your party communicates like we did here. Only one of these rooms is going to be open at a time, so it's up to the other guardians to tell you which room to come out of. Your sense of direction needs to come into play here. All while this is happening, the other people who didn't read are on ad clear duty, killing waves of enemies and knights that try to sacrifice on the place you're trying to cleanse. Do this rinse and repeat cycle 3 times and the encounter is over. Whew! That was a lot. Okay, well I hope you understood this one because this is your precursor to the best boss fight in the entire game. Hands down, Riven is the hardest boss fight in the entire game doing it legit, and I'm gonna take you step by step. You start by having everyone stand on a plate that leads to the lower room where you'll meet the giant dragon Ahamkara. There are 2 rooms, tree and crystal as we'll call it. There are a bunch of ads that spawn, annoying snipers, breeding scions, and the Eye of Riven again. Riven is gonna come into one of the 2 rooms where she'll either breathe hot fire or seduce you with hentai. Don't do it, you fucking degenerate. Either shoot her mouth or kill the hentai and she'll open 2 of her 10 eyes. Call these out for the other team because she'll head over there next. The other team in the meantime will have the Eye of Riven that spawns, which will drop another essence and Oh, that's a lot of symbols. One person's gonna pick up the eye and the other stands on this platform to guide the wielder to where they need to cleanse. They now also have to deal with Riven while the other team deals with their own cleanse. The real challenge of this fight mostly boils down to communication and coordination, since comms can get quite cluttered, so be sure to clear the comms up every once in a while if things get messy. And don't worry about doing this section in a certain way. Sometimes having a backup plan is a good thing, so don't stress. Do this twice and head back up to the room you started in and get ready to do the fire and hentai thing 3 more times. All while killing ads and ogres that spawn and try to push you around. The DPS phase starts here. Pay attention to every eye that opens using the same callouts as before. There will be a total of 6 eyes to destroy, and once you figure them out, pump the fucking damage into her mouth. I recommend going into this fight with some weaker weapons to make this a bit more interesting. After a bit, you will have to shoot her eyes, otherwise your whole team will wipe if you don't do it in time. After about 5 or 6 seconds, start shooting the eyes from your callouts. Make sure you shoot the correct ones or you will all wipe. Once you shoot all 6 eyes or you're boring and pump too much damage into her mouth, she'll back off and you'll get back onto these plates you used to start. Things are a little bit different now. Now you gotta play pop the zit all over Riven's body. This is where majority of her damage will come from, but if you can't do enough damage to get to last stand, you'll have to get back into the rooms and rinse repeat. Hopefully you won't have to do this at this point in the game's life. Alright, last stand is here. You're now in the ascendant plane. Parkour your way to the end and you'll pick up a tank in strength and be teleported back into the same room we were just in. Surprise, butt sex, she's back. Shoot her in the mouth a few times and you are done.
Lol, just kidding, you baited idiot.
It's time for Riven to vor you. Get inside her mouth and take her heart out, and now you're actually done. What, did you think this was gonna be easy? Now comes the actual last encounter for the raid, Queen's Walk. This is such a simple encounter, I don't know why I bothered to explain it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's literally just a relay race but with extra steps. Riven's heart is gonna choose someone, only they can pick up the heart, and only one person can pick it up at a time. Everyone else should stay fairly close to this person, but not too close. There's a bubble around this player, and if you stay outside of it, you get creeping darkness. 10 stacks of that sucker, and you're just dead, so don't stray too far. There's a timer on the bottom left, and when that timer runs out, they get teleported inside the heart of Riven. The next person, indicated at the bottom left, is then gonna pick up the heart and run to the exit. There's gonna be a bunch of ads here and they just have to stay alive so they can pick up this taken strength, but not so fast. Remember that timer? This is the thing that resets it and makes it so that this person can go on for even longer. The person running the heart is counting down so that the ones inside the heart can reset the timer and extend the duration of their run. Do this pretty much the whole way through, slam Riven's heart, and now you're done with the raid. Riven's heart is now cleansed, but hey, the Dreaming City ain't looking so hot. What the fuck did we just do? Oh yeah, and don't forget to pick up 1K on your way out. Yo, I got 1K!